The Mexican Village salsa.
Yes, that's the best.
Yes.
See, no.
Mild.
Red pepper.
Here we
the
go.
red pepper
No,
salsa
my
red
goodness,
pepper.
LJ.
blows it out of the
No, it
water.
does not.
Yes, it does.
No. Mexican Village salsa.
No.
Yeah.
I will die on this hill. Red pepper salsa is so much better than Mexican. The Mexican Village has zero flavor. There's zero flavor.
Are you
And it's
getting
not
the
even
right
spicy.
salsa
Yeah.
when you say Mexican Village salsa?
Yeah, the extra hot or the... I get the extra hot, but it's not even hot.
Okay.
With the white cap.
White
Yeah.
cap.
So good.
Red pepper is so much better.
Why?
It's like sweet. There's actually flavor
That's
to it.
the problem. It's sweet. It's like sweet salsa. No, I want spicy.
You know what the trick is?
You
Okay.
don't eat spicy salsa.
I know that came out that
You don't either.
No, but I
had
didn't
nothing
say
else.
I didn't say I did. I just know he doesn't.
Shut up.
Well, his two options were salty or spicy,
Yeah.
and salty was going to be a bad option, so he went spicy.
Yeah, I had nothing. I don't know if I ever had red pepper.
It's so good.
What's
The actual trick to do if you did want spicy, which you guys don't, but you take your favorite hot sauce, you put a couple of dashes of that in there.
Really?
That's it.
So you're
if
doctoring
Mark
up
was
the
here, he'd
salsa.
say the same thing. If Mark was here, because he did that. We had what was it? It's from Tears of Joy hot sauce shop in Texas called
Sure.
August in Austin, which
Sounds hot.
hot. And you put a couple of dashes of that in there, mix it up. Unbelievable. But
Is
if you
that
just
right?
want like a nice, I'd eat that. I'd eat a whole bowl by myself. Red pepper, not Mexican
See,
Village.
but you
Mexican
don't need
Village
to
is
add
really good.
anything to the
Yeah.
Mexican Village salsa.
Yes, you do. You have to add. You can't call it extra hot if it's not hot, because it's not hot.
Okay.
That's my thing.
well,
there's no flavor.
What about
and
the
it's
Tostitos?
too chunky?
It
in
is
like
too
in the
chunky.
jar.
I'm not a
I
big
like
chunk.
it. Don't get me wrong, I like it.
I'm not a
don't
big
like
chunky
chunks.
guy either, but I
Aren't
don't
ya?
I don't mind that one. The Tostitos.
Eh,
I don't think I've ever had the red pepper.
Get the red pepper.
We might have to try
same
it.
aisle. Get the red pepper.
Okay.
It's so good.
You mean it's in the salsa aisle?
It's the salsa is in the salsa aisle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to go look.
Well, they keep it
Crazy.
refrigerated, so it's a
Yeah,
little different.
I do. Yeah.
Because that's how good it is. That's how good it is.
Okay. I enjoy our salsa here at Sweet Shots.
Yeah, we do have good
It's
salsa.
also a little sweeter, just so you know.
Okay. And
That's
our
all right.
chips.
Fresh
being
cut.
Fresh cut, freshly made.
Daily.
Beautiful. They're good.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another round at Sweet Shots. Lucas Johnson, joined by Nick Johnson and Chuck Johnson. Mark, if you caught it earlier, I don't know if I might have cut out, but he's off in fantasy land.
What's the name of it?
Chips and
LJ?
quesos. Turks and quesos. I can't even say it now.
Turks and quesos.
Turks and quesos. What is it?
Turks and Caicos.
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 That's where he's at.
Turks and Caicos.
Living the good life.
Living the good life, I guess. Maybe doing a little
miss
work.
him.
I don't know. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. I mean, he's maybe a little serious sometimes.
yeah.
So we're going to have some
Maybe a little. Okay.
fun. We'll test and see if he listens to it.
We should have nothing but a live discussion.
It's on there. But yeah,
Only
it's
live. This is an only live.
nothing but
podcast.
live.
All
yeah.
right.
Okay, well, welcome back. So we got a little cold weather around, so we're gonna try and warm it up in here. But last week, coming off the the Sony, is that what they call it?
Yep.
So there's a good week there. I don't know. We don't have to jump into it right away, obviously, but actually, we were talking about the Sweet Shots thing. I'm gonna jump all over the place here.
Yeah, no
but
worries.
The Sweet Shot salsa.
Yeah.
I wonder. So shout out to Greg McCullough.
Yeah, he
Did
was
you
here
see this?
yesterday.
He was here. He had lunch in the building. I think
Yep.
he got the Basil BLT. So, but
Ooh.
congrats to him because I saw he bowled the perfect game. 300. He had bowling league last night.
Bowled a perfect game.
Wow.
300.
Did he really?
Yeah.
During league.
Yeah, there's video evidence too.
Where
You
at,
know,
do
he was here.
Sunset Lanes.
He was here
Yeah.
for lunch, and I talked to
Yeah,
him.
do it.
Talked to him for maybe 5 minutes or so. He seemed really calm.
He was.
He was in the right frame of mind, I think, to get in there last night.
He had a
Bowl.
full belly.
Great lunch.
Great.
Probably
lunch.
some chips and salsa.
We've talked about it. Where is it harder to hit a hole in one or bowl a 300? We've
That's a
talked
good
about it.
question.
You weren't here for
I
that.
wasn't.
No.
but That's a good question.
Well, what do you think, Nick? We debated this.
Well, just any hole in one?
What do you mean, any hole? Yeah.
Is there a distance?
Well, what do they consider a legit hole in one?
I think it's over 60.
60 yards?
I mean, there's arguments where it's like it's got to be a full swing. It's got to be.
Let's
you know,
say
whatever.
60 yards.
Mm.
This is
You
a
make
simple
shot
one, Nick.
in
You're
one hole.
overthinking
Yeah.
it.
Wait, I don't remember what you said, Chuck.
I think hole in one would be harder.
Okay.
No. I don't know. 60 yards is like, okay, that's easier than a perfect
Let's
game.
just say you're going to go play Moorhead Country Club.
I just
on
don't-
any given day.
I just don't bowl enough to. I could bowl a perfect game. I'm going to say,
Really?
Well,
with enough practice, I think I could get there. Hole in one, you could practice. You could play your whole life. I mean, look, there's PGA pros who can't do it. There's Joe Schmoes.
Me. But I've also never bowled a 300.
That's true, but you don't bowl much. You did take a bowling class.
I did
though.
take a bowling class.
Okay, maybe I retract my statement. Huh?
No,
Now I don't know.
You
Well,
don't
what's
know.
your
So
answer?
it's simple.
Okay, what is it?
We debated this when we were in a bowling league for like 10 years. Us guys talked about this. To bowl a perfect game is way harder than a hole-in-one.
absolutely. I'm on the same page.
12 strikes in a row.
Yeah.
The random Joe can't step up and bowl 12 strikes in a row.
It's the
But
fact that you have to compound it. That's a big thing.
a random Joe could go to El Zago and just happen to top one
Lucky-
perfectly.
luckily,
and it
maybe.
roll,
That's
hit
true.
the pin, and go in.
It's true.
You get to about frame 7 after 6 strikes in a row.
Is this, do you know, LJ, you've been there? Like in this situation?
No, I'm hypothetical.
Okay.
I've had 4 in a row.
Okay.
I think during my bowling class. Straight ball, not a curve. I don't
Okay.
curve it.
Yep.
G-Max, Greg McCullough, he's a lefty. Do you know that?
Oh, I know. He gets, well,
He gets better oil over
better
there,
oil.
So that's
Nobody's
why he-
messing his oil.
That's true.
Okay, anywho.
But I would think you get to about frame 6, and maybe we should have him on here to talk about it.
We could.
But there's got to be a certain point at which you go, oh boy,
This is real.
I'm in it.
Yep.
But you don't step on a tee box and go, okay,
This is it.
I got
this is
this.
it right here.
Right. That's a good point,
Call your hole-in-one.
LJ. That feeds that only adds to why I think it's way harder
Yeah.
to bowl a 300 because to your point, all of a sudden frame 8, 7,
Yeah.
8, 9, 10. Oh, you get to 10.
Well, get to 10,
gotta
you got to
get
do it
3
3
more.
times.
So the closest I came to one, I bowled next to a guy that got one.
Closest I got to one.
No skill involved.
I was right
there.
next to
just-
someone.
His name was Big John. We were bowling up in Red River lanes, and he was in the lane next to us. And when you bowl, guys, there's etiquette.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
You don't be
learn
messing,
that. You
right?
learn that in
Yeah.
bowling class.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know
The
all
person
about
on the
it,
right
yeah.
goes first, right?
Well, not necessarily.
Yeah.
No,
If
it's
you
the person
step
who
up at the
gets
same
up.
time,
Yeah. Oh, then it's
Step
the
up-
right.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you get to the ball return, whoever got there first should go.
Right.
Okay. So I get into this and I'm looking and I look and he's got 5 in a row. I don't want to mess with his mojo, so I'm basically just stepping
Hang back.
Yep, hanging back. Well, then I start overthinking it. Like, am I hanging back too long now that he's
Now that
going, like,
he's-
why isn't he
no,
bowling?
He's more nervous than Big
I
John.
was. I really was. Anywho, then the whole place goes quiet in like frame 9 when he goes up.
Oh,
like
boy.
everybody just stops and watches. Think of that.
That's the other thing too.
Yeah.
If you're like during league, I can't imagine what he's going through during league. The video,
Yes.
and maybe we'll make sure. I think Mike McFeely had it. I don't know who took it, but
There's video of it.
There's video of his
Nice.
last strike, and
That's
I mean,
crazy.
the place went nuts.
I'm assuming as good as Greg is, this probably wasn't his first 300.
I would assume, but
Okay.
that's
Our
still impressive.
my cousin, your guys' second cousin, Chip, who is no longer with us, bowled multiple 300s, and Mark was bowling with him.
That was a story we told last time,
Yep,
right? Where
yep. He was on his team.
what color seats do you
Yeah,
want?
you just
on your
gotta
golf
keep 'em
cart?
distracted.
Just trying to distract him with the golf cart talk.
He was one of the area's best bowlers. Really good.
How much
Your
you have to
fam-
play to get to that?
My
point?
whole
Your
family is really
is-
good.
Your
bowlers.
family is like if you're
Phenomenal
not
bowler.
bowling, you're golfing. It's kind
Well,
of
we
one
grew
or
up
two.
as kids. When
Like
we'd
at
get
the bowling
together,
alley.
we did.
We grew up too. So
We grew up as kids.
You didn't let me finish. Smart. So as
I
kids,
also grew up
growing
as a
up
kid.
in Moorhead, when we'd get together with our cousins, we would go bowling. All-Star Bowl.
Yep.
You
Oh,
guys remember the old All-Star
Yeah.
Bowl?
Yeah, I was in there a couple
Classic.
times. Yeah.
And that's where your dad and I won the All-City Championship.
got the jackets to prove
We
it.
do.
You
We're
still
the
have your
All-City
balls.
champs.
Were those the balls you have at home? Are those the balls you used?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll hand them
sure-
down to you someday.
I'm sure the tech hasn't changed at all.
Yeah. So anyway, and then our cousin Julie bowled for Team Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's So there's talent in the family.
She started the NDSU Bowling Club.
Did she really?
Yep. it was funny. Her story, we should get her on here to tell her story because I'm, you know, it was a point of conversation when I saw her because I don't see her all that much. I said, hey, Julie, I took a bowling class at NDSU. And so she's like, yeah, I started the bowling club and I actually took that class. I was like, you took that class? She's like, yeah, they weren't going to let me in. And the bowler, it was old school, you know, and they were like, I don't know if we'll let you in. You already missed a couple weeks or whatever. And, you know, you might not get caught. She's like, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And she just goes in there and she's like, I ended up teaching the class most of everything.
I imagine she did.
She was just like, I kind of took over by week 3, like just let her rip.
Yeah,
But
awesome.
both her and Jody were phenomenal bowlers growing up. I mean, they just dominate us.
well, when I was talking to her, that's similar to when you guys hung out, you dropped it off, but they got dropped off at the bowling alley and that's just what they did. They went and bowled.
Yep. Yeah, fun.
Very similar to golf. I mean, you can drop your kid off at a golf
Absolutely.
course and just let them.
go.
Chipping and putting is free. That's the best thing about golf.
That's right.
Chipping and putting is absolutely free.
Yep. There's no cost there.
The range balls, then you got to know somebody who gets free golf balls.
Mm-hmm. So,
But
Wow.
that's impressive.
300.
Congrats to Greg.
Yeah.
We should
Congrats.
reach out to him. We'll
Greg,
see if
way
we
to
can get
go.
him on. Maybe we do he might be down in, I forgot to ask him if he's going to Florida. He might be down there. Maybe we'll
might
all
see him.
hop on a call down
There you
there.
go.
But yeah, so congrats to Greg. That was really cool. I mean, anytime a 300 happens, that's pretty sweet.
I think it was the BLT he had here for lunch.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Can we start advertising like Lunch of Champions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, home of the Lunch of Champions. Okay, how about this last weekend? I mean, sports, we're starting to wrap up. We're getting into the early golf season, but then we've got wild card playoffs. You know, Nick and I, we were trying to get our locks in. Now that fantasy's over, I was 5th place. I don't know if we talk about that, but I was 5th place.
Well, we got to
early.
circle back on your error of your picks. We
Yes.
talked about it.
We never talked about
Remember
it.
how you messed up your picks only because the site?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Underdog? Or
So
who were you
yeah, it was
using?
underdog. And so actually, what I did, because I sent you
Yeah.
the picks,
Yeah.
and actually what happened was I think enough people complained that they were picking. So again, to recap, essentially I was picking who's going to have the lowest score. Underdog was like, nope, the winner is whoever has the highest score.
The worst golfer.
The worst golfer wins the
bet.
best. And I guess enough people complained because I had picked a couple wrong ones anyway for who beats who. And enough people complained, they just gave me the bet.
Flipped it.
All 5 correct. So I won $400.
And they
Nice.
flipped it.
They flipped everything. I was like,
That's
yeah.
unbelievable.
Well, I told you because I was going to go put some bets in for football, and I'm scrolling. This one was for golf, and I'm scrolling, and I look up and I go, I have that much money in my account. When did that happen? Did I do this in my sleep?
Right.
Like, what's going on? And then they corrected the bet, and then my other one that I got my money back on, I actually ended up winning $5 on. So I was like,
It's just hilarious to me that they're scoring that they thought you're going to pick the higher score.
Well,
It doesn't
Gonna
even make sense.
what I think, thinking in terms of like the developer, like getting it right. So you add golf in there. Most rivals are like who gets more yards, who gets more
Yeah. Okay.
points,
Sure.
who gets more carries.
Right.
So I'm sure it's the same code that if strokes equate to points. And so I'm sure they just didn't change the code as far as
You had a computer code nerd guy that
Yeah.
didn't really understand the game of
Copy,
golf
paste.
and just
Copy,
went,
paste.
yep, higher score wins.
Yep. And then enough people like I looked in there and I was like, I got a couple wrong anyway. So I was like, I wasn't gonna win the bet. That's why I didn't freak out.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I picked a
Absolutely.
couple wrong ones anyway. And then that's when I went back in there. I was like, what?
That's hilarious. Now you showed me now they've updated the verbiage on there.
It says fewer strokes.
Fewer
Does it now?
strokes.
They
Yeah.
changed it?
When I put my bet in, it just said
Yeah.
strokes.
So somebody had to go in to tap on
Someone got fired.
Yeah, I was
Someone
gonna say
lost their job.
nerdy
over
tech guy. Hey, you need to add this.
that. And make sure you switch
Yep.
fewer.
Yep. Oh, poor guy.
So yeah, that was actually Thanks for bringing that up again.
Yeah.
'Cause that's a correct there.
Went from
so
maybe the worst bet. You could have, I mean, all
it was,
wrong.
It was probably the worst bet I've ever made in
Over
my
5
life. Yeah.
to $400.
So now it's $400.
That's great.
It's like, okay, yeah, I'll do that again.
That's so funny.
That's funny.
But
Okay.
we were kind of on a roll there for a little bit because
Yeah.
you hit a big one,
I did. Yeah.
and we were just going to keep parlaying that into that, and then of course last night we kind of went cold, but
Yeah.
that was there's some good football being played.
It's
I was
just it's
surprised
so
they-
unpredictable football right now.
It is.
The playoff games were just all the wild card week.
Yeah.
It was blowouts the first 3.
And that's not uncommon, wild card weekends. But no, I think this next.
There were a couple upsets this week.
I would say the
that's
upset
what-
was the Packers blowing out the Cowboys was uncommon.
That was big.
Cowboys are overrated.
They choke every.
That was a lose-lose for me. I hate both teams.
Yeah.
Like our cousin's out there listening from Dallas. Bob, he's a big Cowboys guy. He sent me a Herschel Walker's jersey back in the day. I'm sure he's still crying about the defeat. Actually, he's a Raiders guy, which I
What?
like. Yeah, he's a Raiders guy. But I looked at Nick because we're Raiders.
Yeah.
But I know he loves the Cowboys too. It's too bad, Bob. Too bad about your Cowboys. Anyway, I was torn because I hate the Packers, but I think I might hate Dallas more.
Really?
I do.
So I hate the
don't know.
Packers more.
But
I
I just hate the Packers.
I
more.
hate the
I never
Cowboys,
grew
too.
up. I never grew up in the sense where like
yeah.
the
needed.
the Cowboys were good enough
Dominant.
for everybody to cheer
Yes.
for, and they were just
Yes.
annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of a joke to be a. I don't know. I make fun of more Cowboys fans than anything.
That
but
division in general. Eagles get blown out by the Bucks too.
I know. That's
Eagles
crazy.
and Cowboys
Out.
gone.
I heard something. I don't know if this is true or not. You know, they're considered America's team, the Cowboys.
the Cowboys are.
They haven't won a playoff game since Facebook was established, but yet they're America's team.
They haven't won. Wasn't that like 2010?
They said the year, I don't remember, but they said that America's team has not won a playoff game. I'm like, what? Is that real?
You can't be America's team.
You
man.
can't be.
You can't be America's team.
What would be the new America's team?
No, Chiefs probably.
Yeah.
Easy to jump on that.
Not only because of
Niners?
Mahomes. No, you
No.
can't. No way.
No.
I think it's probably Kansas City because you got.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
fair.
you go outside the country, they're probably going to be like Patrick Mahomes, and then
Yeah.
now you got Taylor Swift on the
That's
bandwagon.
true.
So
Taylor Swift made it America's team.
Taylor Swift made it.
She actually
America's team.
created America's team.
Yeah. Yeah. Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think it's the Chiefs.
Okay, so the beauty of this is Packers are going to go get smoked by the 49ers.
They got
this week.
Niners now, divisional.
Yep.
Bring them back down there. Lions have a chance, though.
Lions
I was actually happy
Lions are
for them. I
dangerous.
mean, what's it been 30 years?
Yeah.
I was actually I said good for them
Yeah.
after that win.
Yep. So
That's a good
Lions
feeling.
will probably beat Tampa Bay.
at home.
Yep.
They're really good at home.
Wow. We're going to have a Lions 49ers
That's
NFC championship.
When's the last time that's happened?
That's crazy. Okay.
Book it here.
And then AFC,
There you
we've
go.
got
Ravens.
Ravens, Texans.
Yep.
Texans, CJ Stroud's dangerous.
I was on.
It's the real
I
deal.
picked him up in fantasy. You got
Yep.
me. You got
Yep.
me.
Yep.
It's the real deal.
To playoffs.
But Baltimore at home, but they usually kind of choke in the playoffs too.
can,
Other than
yeah.
Joe Flacco and what was that? 11?
Then
yeah. When was their last Super Bowl?
something like that.
Yeah.
And then you got Chiefs having to travel for the first time in playoffs under
Against-
Mahomes
yeah.
against Buffalo.
Buffalo.
I like that.
Which I think Buffalo at home is good. They're going to be.
Yep.
I think Buffalo could win this whole thing.
I agree.
That was my sleeper
Really?
pick. Yeah.
I hope they
Buffalo?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think the Chiefs. Whether it's Buffalo or not, I don't think the Chiefs are getting out of Buffalo. I'll tell you that right now.
Unless the refs have something to say about it.
Yeah.
Which they probably will.
Yeah.
But
They
being
always
in
squeak it out,
Buffalo,
though.
This
This matchup is probably the best in in the last recent years. The Chiefs Bills.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
been some good matchups,
Yep.
especially in the AFC Championship games they've
Yep.
done.
Yep.
Is it gonna be freezing cold again? I think I saw it. No, it was gonna be like 20. I think next week. So it's not gonna be like shoveling snow.
Right.
Did you see
Yeah,
that?
that was
They had to like
crazy.
trudge through.
Yeah.
I thought I saw a deal where Bill's Stadium they didn't have any assigned seating.
Yeah.
They
Sit
had to-
wherever you want.
If you can get into it,
Yep.
you sit
Well,
there.
people were bringing their own. There was like shovels laid out, and they would have to dig their seat out.
Yep.
And sit down.
Yeah. Yeah. I say that
That's
too,
just-
LJ.
that's
Sit
just
where you
good-
want.
That's just good, clean football right there.
It is.
I like.
See, I was
that.
hoping when I was looking at the forecast, I was hoping there was going to be 4 or 5 inches of snow on the ground.
Me too.
They'd cleared the whole field.
I wanted to see
'Cause
it.
I put a bet
saw-
in, assuming there was snow on the ground. I picked the unders on everything,
Ricky.
and I look at it. Wait, oh no,
Yeah, there's
like this isn't good.
No.
Like they
I had
cleared the whole
under-
field.
I had the under on Diggs though too.
Yeah,
that was my
that
one.
worked.
I took the over on the rushing and the under on Diggs, and that worked.
That worked.
But I thought I saw a deal that it's either that one or Arrowhead had heating underneath it, so the field temp was actually 50
I
degrees.
saw that. Yep.
So I wonder what the radiant heat was. But it
Right.
was probably over zero. you
Yeah.
know. But you get the win for the real
field,
field.
yeah.
But
right.
yeah. Okay. Well, how about let's get into golf. We're a golf podcast.
Oh, yeah,
that was,
sure.
That was good. That was more betting.
Yep.
Betting focus. But in getting in golf, how much did you guys watch Sony Open? Did you guys watch a lot of that? Or?
I didn't.
I didn't either. I was Watching a lot of football and
A lot of football. It's
Not
tough when
focused.
you're going up against playoff football.
Yep.
I don't think you're going to draw many eyeballs, especially with a field like Sony.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the
A lot of
late
big
starts, the time change
Yeah.
type deal
It
with
bumps right up
Yep.
against the football. I know I was flipping back and forth a couple times. Didn't get to see the end of it, but total drama filled. You got Grayson Murray, who ended up pulling it out. Big playoff run.
yeah.
3-person playoff, drains a 40-footer to win it.
That's crazy.
Lab putter guy, by the way.
Is
He's
he?
got the link.
Okay.
It's their little blade one. So
Okay.
if you want a lab putter,
we
right
have
here.
Yep.
We're the only place in the
Who
upper
else
Midwest.
was? Who else was in that playoff?
Then you got
Ben
Keegan
On.
Bradley and Ben On.
Oh, Ben On's been
So,
playing some good golf.
A lot of actually, Nick and I, we got a bone to pick with you, by the way, from last week. I don't know if you remember your advice for DraftKings.
Yeah, shake off rust, guys. Only target
Make sure
those
you
that
got the
played
guys
before.
that played last
That
week.
was
How'd
about
that
as
work out for
opposite-
everybody?
Yeah, that was the worst lineup possible. Almost, I felt like.
I should have
was
said
like-
they're going to come in tired.
Well, we didn't.
From
I didn't
swimming
even,
over
I
from
just,
the other
you
island.
convinced me so easily. I was like, yeah, sure. But we didn't even think the week before.
Yeah,
All those guys, it was their first week playing.
I know.
Like it was
One
they
week
played
under
well.
their belt.
Yeah,
That was stupid.
was-
I mean,
yeah.
why would you listen to me on
After,
that?
Yeah, not
after
doing
the
that
first
again.
day, I looked at the leaderboard and I said, not on my team, not on my team, not on my team.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
know.
have anybody on
No,
the first page of
I
the
didn't
leaderboard.
either.
I'll do anything for the goat, and you fools. Take my word.
We're going dirty play.
You
now.
haven't even
Okay.
given the goat back.
I had something in my office
Yeah, I should have it.
comfortably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, I already looked at Nick's. I can tell you, I did not get anywhere near the GOAT this
Okay.
week. I was
All right.
terrible. Heath Thagala missed the cut,
I
which
saw
he
that.
was my guy. I mean, I'm thinking after a second place finish, heartbreak, you're going to come
Yep.
out ripping. He didn't play well. But the big thing that I wanted to get to, kind of lit up the golf world before we get into DraftKings, was the Carl Yuan situation. I don't know if you saw that. We talked about it briefly beforehand. But his big, he got free relief on the 18th hole.
Final hole.
Final hole, 72nd hole.
Got it. Yep.
Did you see this? So he's in the fairway and he hits a terrible shot out to the right. And in the video, it looks like it goes over the stands, the hospitality tent.
Hospitality tent.
And what the hospitality tent is it's a local rule because they're not there all the time. So it's a temporary immovable obstruction. And there's a special rule in the rule book where if you are either up against it, in it, or obstructed by it, that temporary immovable obstruction, you get free relief. And in the video, it looks like it goes over the back.
It did.
Which would then be out of bounds or
OB.
lost ball.
Yep.
He convinces people with virtual certainty, that's the big word, and convinces these people that his ball went into the hospitality tent, into it,
Yeah.
but they couldn't find it. But because he convinced them that they were virtually certain it went into the tent, he got a free drop, ended up making par, didn't drop down a stroke, and made himself an extra $100,000. He cost the people behind him like $100,000 because he got
That's
this
huge.
free drop.
That is.
Even though it looks like it should have been at least a lost ball.
Sure.
Right. OB.
And for those listeners that, for the rules standpoint, if it does go OB, he has to go all the way back to the tee.
Even
and
if it's a
re-hit,
lost
you're hitting
ball.
for third and for a lost
Even
ball.
if it's a lost ball.
So that's at least a stroke or two, right?
And that's why virtual certainty is so important, because virtual certainty, the actual, like the dictionary definition's like 99.9%.
Yeah.
In golf, it's more like if you can convince your group
Sure.
that, no, I went in there.
Yeah.
Big thing for me was, hey, if you can find your ball in there,
Yeah.
because there's
Yeah.
people standing in there.
Right.
If you can find your ball in there, I'm virtually certain it went in there at that point.
So LJ, you showed me the video. It's a tent.
Correct.
How is the ball when it's coming from up top
Right.
going to get into said tent?
It's
Wouldn't it
either-
bounce off it and
You
go
would-
OB?
Right. So, like, unless it had so much speed where it punctured a hole through the top
Sure. Uh-huh.
and then sat in the chair seating area.
Yeah.
But at that point, if you
But no
remember
one
from the
saw.
video, there's people in the tent.
They would have seen it.
So they go, oh, geez, that hit right
Right.
here. Oh, look, there's a ball. And actually, Keegan Bradley's ball did go into the hospitality tent in the penalty or in the playoff, and he got free relief.
From
But
the
it was
air,
sitting-
or did he like shank one in there? Like, did it come up similar
I
flight
didn't see it.
path?
I think he hit it too far. It looked behind the green. So
Oh,
he hit
okay.
it. He
There
wasn't
we go.
coming in
That makes
from
sense.
the top. He was coming
Yep.
in straight. But it was like the guy's sitting here, and it's like right where Nick's cup is. So
Okay.
you could see the ball.
Sure.
Sure.
But this Carl Yuan guy
Couldn't find it.
couldn't find it.
That's crazy.
And then
that
he
they
gets
allowed
free
him to
relief
do that.
Wow.
on the 72nd hole of a tournament. I mean, you're talking, like I said, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's big.
And that just it kind of lit the world. So it also brought up I don't know if you guys remember this all, but there was a huge cheating scandal last year with the Corn Ferry or mini tour.
Kind of vague. Remember
I don't remember if we talked about it, but it's funny because you almost think that because it's a PGA Tour, everybody's so clean, pure-hearted that it's
Honor.
a true gentleman's sport.
On your honor.
But I think because they're playing for this much money, I really think these guys, they are. It's like football too, right? These guys are looking for they're going to push the edge. It's like hockey, being at the face-off circle. You got to kind of cheat your way through there. They're doing the same thing, but when it's this, I'll call it blatant. How do you not say something there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
When it costs them that much money. But there's that big cheating scandal. I think cheating happens in the truest sense of the word, not like, foot wedge kind of thing, but like, stuff like this. This would be considered cheating in my book.
Sure.
I think it happens way more than we're aware of.
Yeah,
Way
that's
more.
probably fair.
Especially in the lower
Yes.
lower
Yeah.
leagues.
Trying to find the way around the rules.
Yeah.
Bend the rules.
Bend the rules a little bit. So that was
Or
a
you're
big thing that I saw.
Patrick Reed and you just do it anyway.
Just do it anyway.
You
You
just-
got photo evidence of that too.
Just scoop the sand.
And then your wife has a burner account that goes out and
Yeah.
roasts anybody that tries to
Right.
that tries to
There's that.
fight you off. But
So did you see? We're gonna go a little backwards again. Keegan Bradley won it, correct?
no, Grayson Murray.
Grayson Murray. Sorry, not
That's
even
okay.
close. Grayson
If
Murray
they
won.
walk through this
wouldn't know
I
the
wouldn't know the
difference.
difference.
Grayson Murray wins it. Did you see his odds?
Grayson
The,
Murray's?
the odds book,
no.
the odds bookmakers put on him
No.
before the tournament started. He was 50,000 to 1.
Come on.
What?
After his
What?
first round, he was 100,000 to 1 to win
After his
this thing.
first round?
Yeah, because he was 1 under. 100,000 to 1. If you put $10 on him, you were going to win 10 grand
Are you
after
kidding
round
me?
1.
No, I missed
after,
this.
After the 72nd hole, he was 1,000 to 1 still. Going into a
Wow.
playoff.
Come on.
He was never better than 1,000 to 1.
He at one point when he hit the green to make his 40-foot putt, he was 500 to 1. He was never
That's
never
absurd.
favorited to win. He was never like minus 500. He was plus 500 to make that putt to win it, which he then did.
I guess from 40 feet, you're making like less than 2% of those statistically, so that's fine. But the fact that he's, what did you say, 500?
From 40 feet, yeah.
The fact
500.
that he's not like 100
Right.
or 200. You made it to the playoff. The 72nd hole, you made it to the playoff.
Just to make the playoff, he was 1,000 to 1.
Yeah, I think, wow. Something.
But could you imagine if you just threw $10 on a random?
Although
bet,
I will say,
100,000 to 1.
I'm going to take Keegan Bradley in a playoff
yeah.
with those guys. Maybe Ben. I don't know. Grayson Murray to me it doesn't. That was a surprise to me when I saw he won. It was a surprise to me.
Had he won before in the PGA?
Maybe one other
Yeah,
event.
I
can't
think I think
remember.
I saw he had won one before.
And is there a sobriety piece to this
Yes,
story too?
Actually, very similar to Chris Kirk's,
Okay,
where he
that's
had
what
to
I
take
thought.
some time off to get right.
Okay.
So
So I just need to find in the pool of players this week.
who's been sober the longest?
That's where I'm going.
I'm not taking any of your advice again.
No.
I'm sorry.
Shaking off Russ, not drinking.
Not drinking.
That's the new angle, guys. Come on. We all know that.
Well, 2 for
Everybody
2.
knows that.
2
Yeah.
for 2
All right.
Oh,
this
geez.
year.
Yeah. Well, let's do, because I haven't picked my team yet, so we'll take a break and then get into the picking teams, because I don't know if you guys did that yet.
No.
I have not picked mine either.
But I don't know if you guys look. So we're going to, was it West Palm Beach? It's California.
Kelly.
Yeah, I think
And
it
it's
is.
the PGA West.
Mhm.
And this is kind of, I remember talking about this last year. This is the start of like the resort style, the Pro-Am style, where they're playing this week's 3 different courses.
Yep.
Next week's Torrey Pines with 2 different courses, then Pebble Beach with 3 different courses.
Yep.
So a little bit of a funky layout as far as the golf tournament goes, and it plays into DFS, right? Because you get
It
your
does.
easier courses, you got your weathers, you got your your tee times,
Yep.
and then you get. I almost think your playing partners, especially with Pebble Beach, AT&T, because it's like you get the
Celebrity.
celebrities out
Yep.
there. Your playing partners, I think, play into that as well.
That's fair.
You get a bad draw with your playing partners.
Yep.
What's the mood like?
Right.
Yeah.
You guys with your Pro-Am in
Yep.
South Dakota. I mean, that good thing you guys are nice people.
We had
you know?
a No, it was a blast. But yeah, that's a valid point, LJ. That's pairings is key. And then I think when you look at the 3-course rotation, weather, the easiest, and they have strokes gained. They have strokes data on each of these courses, monitoring that to go, which which line's best with weather, and then those are the guys I want to, especially if you can do single days.
Yeah,
Single
that
days.
was our big deal last time. Was starting to look at single days for
Yep.
these style because you can better accurately predict.
Yep. It'd be interesting to do head-to-heads, too. I'm just thinking out loud here, guys. If you could find some head-to-head.
I've never done a head-to-head. What do you do? Is like some random guy you get paired up with some random guy you go against him? Or?
You're the where you made your money. What was that? Strokes?
Oh, rivals. You're talking
Rivals.
Oh, okay. So not DraftKings, but like
Do rivals bets.
Yeah.
I wonder if they are smart
Yeah.
enough to look at course data and pick Lucas versus Nick, and they put you're on the easier course, he's on a harder.
take the easier.
Maybe. I don't know.
So that's Underdog is the only one that I've seen that does that with like daily fantasy.
Yeah.
That's right.
That does rivals. I haven't seen the other ones that we use.
I haven't either.
Okay.
Do that. So if you, because honestly, for a guy that follows golf, I feel like I have a better chance picking head-to-head rivals
Yeah.
than
DraftKings.
stroke, DraftKings,
Yep.
how many birdies.
Sure.
I just, you look at trends and then like you're saying, yeah, maybe they don't look at courses. So you got a guy that's playing an easier course
Maybe.
today.
Something for us to look.
I really like that.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to have it out there yet, being Tuesday, but it's worth a look.
Right.
Absolutely. So there's
Okay.
some opportunities in there. Let's take a quick break. Let's take a look, and then we'll build a team and we'll come back. We'll finish with that. Go from there.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
We're going to be kicking off rebrand of the lounge to
That's
DJ's
right.
Lounge starting
DJ's
February
Lounge.
1st.
I didn't even know when we could start that. So there you go.
Yep, February
There's our big
1st.
ad read.
Yep. Super excited. DJ's named after your guys' grandpa, Don Johnson.
He's got to be laughing a little bit.
A little irony there. The
So-
guy that never drank.
Claims he never drank.
Oh, I know he didn't.
He didn't.
Never.
Someone I was talking to was like, I don't know.
Nope.
But yeah,
He had one. He had like a 2-ounce sip of a beer that his brother gave him when they were shingling a rough, because he was thirsty.
Yeah.
And he said, "This is terrible." And that was it. He honestly, I asked him multiple times. That was the only time he had alcohol. He just chose not to. So now we're
So
going to
it's-
name the lounge after
Now you
him.
get a whole bar named after you.
It's beautiful.
Lounge, yeah.
So it's super excited, relaunching, and new menu, and come on out.
Yeah.
We got activities galore happening in the lounge.
Yeah, a lot of nice stuff going on in there. We got some e-tabs, pull tabs, some
E-tab,
gamings,
pull
and
tab.
then you got some board games going on up
Yep.
there.
Live music,
Live
Music
music on
Thursdays.
Thursdays, trivia's
Trivia
on
on
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
bingo on Sundays.
Yep. Good times.
It's great.
Awesome.
Great atmosphere. So there you have it. Come on out. We got DJs launching February 1st.
right.
But we're still the same bar in lounge right
Come
now.
right now.
Right?
Yeah. Come
Even
check
the-
it out. Pre-DJs.
Lunch of Champions.
Yes.
Greg
Lunch of
McCullough.
Champions. Bowl of
right.
300.
Yep.
Basil BLT.
It's just like when Tom Hoagie came on the podcast and they
Yeah.
went and won.
And he did.
We can
Just like
guarantee
it.
we at this moment in time, if you come here and eat lunch and then go bowl,
You might get a 3.
you might get a 300.
That's right.
We can guarantee that you might get a 300.
I like it.
Guarantee it might happen.
All right, gents. Well, let's get into it. We'll finish strong here. So we're heading to the East Coast West Coast. We're at PGA West, and we got 3 courses. You got the Pete Dye Championship course, Stadium course, the Nicholas course, and La Quinta Country Club. And then, like we were alluding to, we got the easier ones out of the 3, and I think it's going to be La Quinta is going to be the easiest. Pete Dye is going to be the hardest, but they're all stock 72s. I think the longest they get 7,100 yards, so it's not overly taxing for these guys. And the weather is going to be phenomenal. It's going to be like the article I was reading. Like I told you, Chuck, it was like if the Open Championship weather is on one end of the spectrum, wind, rain, brutal. The American Express is on the complete opposite end.
Nice.
Perfect, no wind, 75 and sunny, which they get for the next 3 weeks.
Beautiful.
So
Should be really nice.
should be a birdie fest. And then, like we were talking, we opened it up and we all kind of went, ooh, stacked lineup.
Yep.
Very
This
stacked.
Great
week.
field.
And it's not even an elevated event.
No, this is
So
great.
these guys are just out here playing. The name that jumped out to me, Scotty Scheffler is playing.
Saw that.
And then you got
JT.
JT's making his season debut.
Xander.
Xander's coming out. I mean, it's you name them, they're all here. So that's big.
Yep.
That's big. So any other wise words? Oh, checked up on Underdog. They don't have any rivals
Not yet.
listed
rivals.
yet.
Okay. Keep an eye
So
on that.
keep an eye. They do have other prompts out there for scores and birdies. Finau was the first one to jump up. So if you are a Finau guy.
Yeah.
But I'll keep an eye on that because I do like the rivals. And I
Yeah.
wonder if maybe they just won't do it because it's multiple course and they're smart enough to just not even
Maybe.
try.
Maybe.
But I'll keep an eye on that
Okay.
because that'd be good. That'd be a good one.
Yep.
All right. So did we talk who got the goat from last week?
We
It's not
did.
going to be me. It's not going to be me.
No,
I'm like
I
390 something.
I had one guy miss the cut last week.
One guy I had 2.
Mm-hmm.
You had 2.
I had one as well.
I think it was the same guy.
Same guy.
You guys had the
Almost
same
the same.
team.
We had
Almost.
2 guys different.
So it came down to Nick and I, and Nick, I believe you got me.
I did.
So you get to keep the goat.
I get to keep it. I still have yet to actually receive it, but I will pretend that I have it.
I'll
One of
get it to
these
you.
times we're going to have it
I'll
here.
get it to you. You don't worry about it.
Pretend that I have it.
Okay, you'll hear it coming.
Yep.
I'll get it
All
to
right. So with that, I mean, you're getting pretty comfortable in the
you. Winner's
the
circle.
rotation.
I
now.
think Is that 2 in a row?
You've probably
Maybe.
caught up to Mark.
It's 2 in a row.
Here we go.
2.
All right.
Okay.
Starting it off, we have Adam Schenk.
Adam Schenk.
Yep.
What a name for a golfer.
Yep.
Yep. Then we're going Troy Merritt.
Yep. Jeez, you got
Then-
some salary.
These- I was gonna
What
say,
are you
this is
doing?
some budget.
We're going
Okay.
budget, and then we're
Budget
loading up.
saver.
Then we have Joel Damon.
Yep.
Somebody's got to be the 70th best player.
Yep.
That's right.
And then we go heavy here.
Yeah.
We go JT Poston.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's deep on our lineup over
Yep.
here that I pulled up.
Then Sung JM
I like Sanjay. He's a good dude.
Interesting. Okay.
and Tom Kim.
Wow.
Tom Kim,
Tom
huh?
Kim.
Yep.
Has
Yep.
Tom played yet? Tom Kim yet? This.
Yeah, he played. He
The
played
first- played the
first
Century.
event, Century.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
Good. Shaking
then
off
he-
rust.
yeah, then he-
That's
Enough
key.
rust.
Then he got back to the mainland. He was smart. He didn't go back.
But is he drinking? Because that's
Yeah.
where the winner.
That's where you go,
Okay.
huh?
Okay.
You're up
Good
next,
pick.
Chuck.
Okay. I'm gonna go salary saver with maybe the cheater. Juan. I put him in. He's
Yeah,
at
he's got the
6,900,
cheater.
but he's playing well. Okay. Then I'm gonna go. This is Nick Taylor. Nick
Yeah.
Taylor. Yep. 5 of 5 cuts. 4 of 4. Sorry. Then I'm going Billy Horschel. I was surprised to see him at 7,700. He comes in with experience. Then after that, Tony Finau.
You're a Tony Finau
I'm
guy.
going Tony. Eric Cole.
I like Eric
Yeah.
Cole. That's
And
a
then
good pick.
Good
JT
play.
is my anchor.
Wow.
I'm going to get on JT
Thomas
early.
or Poston?
Thomas, sorry. I'm going to get on Thomas early in the season when people aren't quite on him and he's going to win.
Yeah, well, Mark didn't give him his blessings.
Yeah.
So you're
Right.
probably doing just
Yeah,
fine.
you're feeling good with that.
Yep.
All right, I like that.
That's
Thank
a good
you.
lineup. Yeah, that's a
Thank
good
you.
squad.
I will,
It's a
uh,
good second place team.
Well, yeah, about
Overall.
third place
Let's hear
right
third
here.
over here.
Let's hear it.
So I also went with cheater, Carly Yuan.
Okay, save
I
some
think he's
salary.
going to get, he's got a little fire in his belly now,
He should.
right? Accusations, you got to go prove it.
Yep.
Also, have you seen his swing?
Yeah.
Have you seen his swing?
No.
That guy, he's like helicopter finish every time. He's like flipping out. I watched one chip that he had. He looked like a 36 handicap. It was just
I can relate. It almost
It
looks
was-
like he's blown out his ACL.
every single
Yep.
swing. He's comical to watch. So we got Carl Yuan.
Yep.
Juan. Yeah, he's going to do that. Then we went with Grayson Murray. Hot hands.
Yep.
I'm gonna bring it.
What was
And
his
he-
salarry?
7,100.
Okay.
So I like that. So
Yep.
Juan was even less than 7. So value. Then I go. Oh geez, I hope this is Siwoo Kim. I hope so. At 7,000, does that sound right? I saw Kim.
There's
and I
like
think-
12 Kim.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm gonna go check that. I meant for it to be Siwoo Kim. I don't think it's Siwoo Kim.
This is awesome.
I'm gonna have to go
Submitted
fix it. I did submit it.
Locked it in.
Se Kim.
That's not Siwoo.
No.
Value pick at 7,000
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Good luck.
One top 10, 3 of 5 cuts. So we're gonna ride with that.
It's Siwoo, but it's SEE.
It is. That's tough. Okay. Well,
Rookie.
that was a rookie move there. I did hit submit too.
Okay.
All right. So then I've got we'll bump it. That's tough. So then I went Billy Horschel.
I got Billy Horschel.
Nice.
Yeah, I like
Okay,
I like the
okay,
Billy.
okay.
He 18th last week.
I saw that.
So I like where he's at there. And then I said Grayson Murray. So I also did Tom Kim. I made sure I got Tom Kim. I think he's a hot hand here.
You sure it's the right Kim?
Kim.
That one is
That one.
T Kim
Yeah.
plus he's priced right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, I can't believe I did that.
It's classic.
And then I rounded out Scotty Scheffler.
Oh,
big
you can
guns.
afford Chef.
Big
Yep.
guns.
I went right off the bat. I
Nice.
took Scotty Scheffler and Tom Kim, and then I just worked with what I had.
That's a great. I think every one of us every week has to have Chef. I mean,
You would have to.
I think you do.
There's
we talked
no
about it
way
last
that
week.
He's finishing outside the top
Yeah.
10.
No.
We talked about last week how we have to have them.
Yes.
But
Why-
I feel like so many lineups I look at that the winning lineup never has.
Well, last week's winning lineup didn't even have first place.
That's what I mean. Never has first place.
True.
Even if Scotty wins this week, you can win with two
you
seconds
can.
and a third
That's
or whatever.
fair.
Well,
See-
when you pick the wrong Kim, you got to have
It's not
Scotty.
gonna help. Scotty's got to carry you to the.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it explains why you could afford Chef. Wayne.
Yeah, it does. Hey, like I said, 3 of 5 cuts, 1 top 10. I feel pretty good about this Kim.
Budget
Okay.
pick.
It was a budget pick. It's
That was
7,000.
Walmart Siwoo Kim.
It's Siwoo Kim.
That's tough.
Not
That's
the
tough.
Siwoo Kim. That's good.
Oh,
All right.
geez, I got to knock some rust off of my own. Holy cow.
I'll bring the goat next week.
Yep.
Next week, we got to have the goat. And next week might be a call-in from me and Mark down in Florida.
That's right. You guys are
We'll
road
be-
tripping.
gone.
We'll be road tripping.
PGA show.
Yep.
Good for
PGA
you guys.
show. So
Live,
we'll,
from Old Red.
We're live from Old Red. We'll be up on the stage. We'll be
Oh,
there.
sure.
We won't even repeat our material.
Oh, my
I'll tell
God.
you that. Tell you that right now. All right. Well, those are good teams, and we'll check and see if Mark gets one in there from Paradise. But good luck to you guys.
You guys too.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
getting excited,
I
too.
gotta figure out which Kim this is now.
You guys gotta start-
I'm kicking myself.
Figuring it out. 2-0 in 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Well, I'm going to
New
start
year.
trying. Really, I'm going to start trying. You guys
I'm
are-
looking forward to the rivals. I think I'm going to start hitting the rivals.
Yeah, I should look into that too.
Yep. I like it.
Trust
I'm
your
better
gut.
at that anyway. All right, that's going to do it for our episode here for another round.
Another round.
Thanks for joining us. Make sure you come on out. Check out DJs February 1st, but come on out before that. You guaranteed to maybe possibly bowl a 300.
That's right.
If you like
Guaranteed
bowling.
the possibility.
Yep, guaranteed to at least maybe possibly bowl a 300. So we're going to leave it at that. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.